Jacob, we should get down to the fair. I want to watch my mom win the pie making contest.
How can you be sure she'll win?
Because she uses the right ingredients. Real butter and heavy cream. Those two things make anything taste heavenly.
What a great extravaganza, what an awesome display. It's a summer celebration and it's well underway. We're a bunch of dairy farmers and it needs to be said. We drink milk and we eat cheese and we put butter on our bread. Oil!
This world has changed so much. And then you walk down the dairy aisle at the store and you see soy milk and almond milk and coconut milk and rice milk. And way in the back is the real milk. What? Where am I going?
You're not going anywhere, Dad.
I've always been fascinated with our amazing galaxy, and so proud that they named it the Milky Way after us dairymen. You know, the universe has always understood our importance.
We pledge allegiance to the cows of the United States of America
And Canada, Yahi.
and to the farmers because they stand or squat underneath, collecting vitamin D and calcium for all.
Amen to that.
So you see, Jacob, being a dairy farmer isn't just a vocation. It's a noble sacrifice of oneself for the betterment of mankind. Not every man is cut out to handle all the pressure.
You did it again, Mabel.
What did I do, honey?
You made your sun shine all over my rainy day.
I like living large, life's too short to plan. Put it on my charge, grab it while I can.
Now, Harlan, when you purchased that robotic milking system, you maxed out your credit line. Now you have so much debt that even if milk prices doubled tomorrow, you still couldn't pay the interest on your loans, let alone pay it on the principal. Every day you keep farming, the hole you're in's getting deeper.
Lenny, how could you let things get this bad?
Now, Harlan, I did not create this unfortunate situation. I've been encouraging you to rein in your spending for as long as I can remember, but you just haven't done it.
Sometimes I need a little reminder that there's a great big world happening out there beyond that 200 acres of the McGregor family dairy. Your dad's mega dairy operation and all that hired help. I kind of wonder, have you ever actually milked a cow?
Dad, I can teach Jake. We'll do it together. It would really mean a lot to us if you could take a little vacation.
Oh, dairymen don't take a vacation. That's one of the perks of being a dairyman. You never have to worry about where to go, when to go, because you can't go. You can't go because you got to be in the barn every morning, 3 hours, and 3 hours every night, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and 94 years per life so far.
Dad, you're only 92, and you didn't start milking cows the day you was born.
Well, maybe not, but I never took a vacation.
There isn't much that gets past me. It's a good thing I'm discreet. Did you hear? Farmer McDonald, he's got foot right down in the heifer barn. I never pass around information about anything, so you couldn't have heard anything from me. Mabel's bringing more to the table these days. She has become tantalizing to new ways. You didn't hear that from me. I always keep my mouth shut.
Well, if Vern knows about us, then everybody knows about us. But you didn't hear that from me.
You know, you got you got to admire Jacob's enthusiasm about wanting to be a dairy farmer. Well, let me ask you two fellas something. Does Jacob really have a future over there at the Big Shots Holstein Haven?
Oh, Lenny, who am I kidding? I've been in a perpetual state of fiscal irresponsibility since the day I took over this farm.
Or is the financial state as dire as they say it is?
I had so many dreams for my life, and none of them included rubber boots and teeth tips.
Well, and by I mean the Farmers Credit Union, cannot divulge personal information about specific accounts.
Truth is, I don't think being a dairy farmer was ever my true destiny. You know something, Lenny? I don't even like polka music.
Harlan, no matter how dire said specific accounts may be, what I can say is that we're all actively praying for a big miracle.
Amen. My plan is to pray for a miracle while lying on a sandy beach dreaming about not being a dairy farmer.
Harlan, your father is long since passed. If it really is your dream not to be a dairy farmer, why don't you sell out?
No, because Jacob wants to be a dairy farmer. He's planning his future here. I try to keep him in the dark about all the farm decisions in the hope that he'll lose interest, but apparently Jacob's got milk running through his veins.
Harlan, most dairy farmers would give their best lactating cow to have a son that was interested in milking her.
To be content and truly succeed at dairy farming, you can't just like cows. You gotta love them.
A true dairy farmer thinks cows are amazing, whether they're milking or standing on grazing, whether they're Holsteins or yodeling Swiss, Jerseys or Guernseys, just remember this: if you love them, take care of them, give them TLC.
Treat them with kindness and they'll give you milk. And a true dairyman you'll be.
Some cows are happy and they can't stop laughing. They snicker and giggle even when calving.
There are pedigree fancies from upstate New York. They're constantly bellowing, "Eat more pork!"
It's the other white meat. Some cows are skittish, their shadows are scary. Some cows in winter get mangy and hairy.
Some cows have temperaments gentle and kind. No matter their differences, you will soon find.
If you love them, take care of them, give them TLC. Treat them with kindness and they'll give you milk, and a true dairyman you'll be.
It's not just about loving your cows, it's about loving your life as a dairyman.
A true dairyman must get up before dawn. No matter the weather, he must carry on.
There's a bond he has formed with each lactating cow, and he's earned her respect by the sweat of his brow.
He loves her, takes care of her, gives her TLC, treats her with kindness and she gives him milk, and a true dairyman is he.
So we love them, take care of them, give them TLC. Treat them with kindness and they'll give us milk, and so true dairymen are we.
I would be remiss if I didn't point out that you are at risk here of losing something far more valuable than your empire. You could end up losing your son's respect. You need to tell him what's going on, and the sooner the better. Who knows, maybe Jacob's got some ideas that could help turn this thing around.
Turn what thing around? So then, my dad finally admitted our farm is almost bankrupt.
Did he actually use those words?
Well, those weren't his exact words. He said we were in a little over our heads. Then Lenny said we had a maxed out line of credit. And when I asked my dad how he could let things get this bad, he said, "Somewhere along the line, things got away from me." He sat there, engaging in his shot therapy, making excuses why our lives might be going down the drain.
Vern thinks that Katie and Jacob's relationship might be more serious than we thought.
Than you thought, Delmer. I've been trying to tell you the writing's on the wall here.
Listen, sweet cheeks, you might not agree with everything that your dad is doing, and maybe he has let things get away from him, but he's only trying to make the farm as successful as possible so he can turn it over to you. That's why he sent you to college for business, isn't it?
It's only a matter of time before we lose our little girl to the big shots Holstein Haven, and our McGregor dairy farm will be missing a dairy heir.
Where would we be without the dairymen of this world? We wouldn't be running to the store for a gallon of milk, not to mention cheese, butter, or ice cream. Our children would be thirsty, and our elderly would have weak and brittle bones. Hear, hear.
There are less than 1,800 dairy farms throughout the whole United States that milk over 1,000 cows. Yet, those farms produce over 50% of the milk we consume. Now there's some big business.
Without a glass of milk, where would we dunk our Oreos?
Oh, no.
And we'd have to say farewell to the root beer float. But, most importantly, without the dairymen of this world, I wouldn't have a job.
Me neither.
Well, you're right, Delmer. That is some big business. But locally, our little farm is important too. I was just telling Katie this morning that we have no desire to be the big McGregors with the problems and headaches associated with a big farm like Harlan and Mabel's.
Well, you know, Edna, I think Harlan and Mabel's headaches and problems might have more to do with the size of
Oh, Harlan, just how hot do you think I am?
Harlan and Mabel's heads than the size of their farm. Mabel's bringing more
Oh, dear Lord!
to the table these days.
Well, you know, Delmer, I think you may have a point there. Well, the kids wanted us all together so they could make an announcement.
Actually, Mabel and I have an announcement also.
Harlan and I are selling the farm. We're buying a tiki bar in Key West and leaving Hickory Ridge forever.
Oh, dear Lord!
Can you please repeat that?
Oh, dear Lord!
No, I meant Mom. Can you repeat what you just said?
Your father and I decided to leave Hickory Ridge. We're selling the farm and buying a tiki bar in Key West. Why, we've already talked to Lenny down at the Farmers Credit Union, and he's going to make some calls to those large conglomerated dairies. He thinks he can find us a buyer.
I can't believe it. Are you both crazy?
Well, I know this seems impulsive, dear. But, you know, to be perfectly honest with you, your father and I have never really been happy at the Big Shots Holstein Haven. Go on, Harlan. Tell him how you've never wanted to be a dairy farmer in the first place.
Jacob, your mother's right. I never wanted to be a dairy farmer. I did it because that's what my father wanted. I put all my own dreams aside, took over the farm, and began expanding and modernizing, hoping that the next big thing would bring me satisfaction. But the truth is, I would be just plain miserable if it wasn't for your mother. She's the one part of my life that was my idea. I fell in love with her because she is so different than the typical farmer's wife. Oh, no offense, Edna.
None taken, Harlan.
So that's it? Goodbye, Hickory Ridge, and hello, Key West? What am I supposed to do with my business degree now?
Well, you can use your business degree to help us run the tiki bar. And of course, I'll still be selling my cosmetics. There's plenty of old gals down there that'll love my anti-aging products.
I'm not moving to Florida. The reason Katie and I wanted to have this get-together tonight was to tell you all that we're going to get married after graduation this spring. Our plan was to stay right here in Hickory Ridge and continue our family's tradition of dairy farming.
Jacob, we struggled with this decision knowing you would be hurt, but you know that the Big Shots Holstein Haven is struggling financially. If we were to pass it along to you, you would inherit so much debt you couldn't possibly make a living. The only way this farm could turn a profit is if someone was able to pay cash and own it outright. When Lenny does find a buyer, we're going to be lucky to break even.
Then how can you afford to buy a tiki bar?
Oh, we're using all our retirement savings.
Oh, I can't believe this is happening.
I'm sorry if this news disappoints you, dear, but soon you'll be calling the tiki bar home, and I just know you'll be happy there.
You're not listening to me. I'm not going with you. My home is here.
You're not listening to us, dear. We're selling the Big Shots Holstein Haven. You can't stay there.
I'm not talking about the Big Shots Holstein Haven. I'm talking about the McGregor family dairy. This is where I learned what a homemade dinner tastes like, where I learned how family members take care of each other, and this is where I actually learned how to milk a cow. Most importantly, this is where I have found the love of my life. And you, Katie Mae McGregor, are the love of my life. But I have to wonder if you'd even want to marry me. We thought that together with a lot of hard work, we were going to have it all. And suddenly it seems like we'll have nothing.
I've got you, babe, and you've got me, and we've got our faith. We'll be all right. Give your parents your blessing and let them move to Key West. I'll get a job at the credit union after graduation, and you can help my dad here at our farm.
Yes, I suppose I could use some help.
We'll get an apartment in town and eventually buy a little farm of our own. As long as we're together and have faith, all things are possible. Remember?
How could I forget?
Morning, Vern.
Morning, Delmer.
Hey, what's new on the route?
I hear Lenny may have found a buyer for the Big Shots Holstein Haven.
It's so. Well, I always knew some big conglomerate would come along and buy that place. My heart sure does go out to Jacob, though. Really grown fond of that boy. Sure do wish things would have turned out differently over there for him.
Yeah. At least he's got his graduation to look forward to. And the wedding, of course.
I'm happy for those kids. But you know, Vern, I don't think Katie getting married has hit me yet. I'll walk her down the aisle, I'll give her hand away, and even though I'll smile, my heart will break that day.
You'll walk her down the aisle to say her wedding vows, at least when she is gone. You'll still have all your cows. And you didn't hear this from me.
There's absolutely no feeling that ever beats having your hands on a confident set.